It's the Shenanigans podcast.
You call that a crack?
Okay, fine. There. Well, then again, you're also drinking Squirt, and I'm drinking Rockstar Recovery. So mine's like hydrating energy. Yours is like sugar, grapefruit, carbonation.
Diabetes in a can.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I love it. I fucking love Squirt. Squirt's great shit. And I'm not talking about the soft drink.
I knew you were going to go that route.
But yeah, it's we are recording kind of close to back, but we are missing a member today. It's Josie has not necessarily exploded, but he has come down with the plague.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's like he came down with a plague, so we are currently shopping him around to various plague doctors. We'll see if when he comes back, and who knows, maybe he'll have a fresh new mask.
Hopefully he rolls a high recovery.
Yeah, it's like his first aid's kind of shit. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And actually, while we are dawdling in the beginning here and kind of just spitballing, it would probably be a very smart decision of myself and you to double check to make sure we have our phone set on silent.
Already did that.
Yeah, it's like, thankfully, it looks like I have too. I did not expect to actually have that happen. But you know what?
Wait, hold on. Did I? Let me make sure.
Always got to make sure, just in case.
Yeah.
It's like I forgot until we were rolling.
Oh, last episode, I only remembered halfway through.
Oh, yeah, that'll definitely fucking happen sometimes. But you know what? It didn't ring.
I know. Not like that one time where you guys tried to make me feel bad, and I was like, bro, it happens.
Well, yeah, it's like we got to make you feel bad, though. It's like it comes as part of the territory here.
Funny enough, I feel like in this little podcast journey of ours, each one of us has had some type of technical issue happen live while we're recording.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't be a podcast without it. But,
True.
You know what? We're recording so close together that there's not a whole hell of a lot of extra, like, newness out in the world this time.
Well, there is like a bit of sad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we lost another actor, Bruce. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his last name right. Leung, Leung.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know the name right off the bat, if you ever saw Stephen Chow's Kung Fu Hustle, he was the Beast, the final villain with the frog style.
Yeah, that is a sad loss for cinema because he was honestly a lot of fun to watch in a lot of films.
Oh, yeah.
And he was great in Kung Fu Hustle.
100%.
Great. But well, that does kind of speak to actually something that I was thinking of bringing up for today.
Oh, great. The morbid episode.
Yeah. I just kind of was like, you know what?
At what moment did you realize your childhood died?
Yeah, it's like, so, well, when did you realize that hope was a lie fed to us when we were young so that we would join the consumerist mindsets? When was it, Jose? When? Was it when the Ninja Turtles came out? No, it's, I was thinking I would share with the audience my favorite SCP entry.
Ooh. Oh, damn. You should have told me in advance because I could have done some research.
I decided it 12 minutes ago. It's like,
okay,
you had stepped away to go deal with business, and I was left by my lonesome. And I was like, you know what? I have nothing planned for today. You know what I'd do? SCP. Yeah, why not? We haven't talked about SCPs on the podcast yet.
I doubt this is going to be the only time we do.
Oh, absolutely not.
I love the whole concept of the SCP. I mean, hell, you and I are like, we'll come back to it eventually, but we tried doing a screenplay for an idea dealing with them.
Indeed we did. And you know what? You'll be familiar with this one because it is a fairly well-known SCP, but it is also one of the earlier SCPs.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like this week we're just kind of getting into at least a little bit of it. I
I'll also try
I'm
to
not
think
going to read
of-
the field logs, though. I'm not going to read the
Okay,
field
yeah.
logs. Because the field logs make it a much larger thing. I'm just going to go over the actual entry for this.
I feel like
because-
the field logs will do that for a solid SCP episode.
Yeah, I'd say like, especially for ones like this one, maybe have like this is a special episode of like SCP field logs or the full story or something like that. But yeah, it's the one you will be familiar with this. It's SCP-610, otherwise known as the Flesh That Hates.
You've told me about that. You were the first one that told me about this one, and then I did a deep dive, and I was like, "Oh,
Love it. It is one of my favorites. But yeah, so it's item SCP-610. Its object class is Keter, and I probably should kind of reference what the object classes are. Let me look that up real quick because I know that there's Safe, Thaumiel, Keter, and I think there's one other. Let me double check. Okay, so the object classes. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of secondary, non-standard, and all that stuff. But the biggest four: Safe, Euclid, Keter, and Thaumiel. So safe ones, easily contained. And most times, it's like, think of it as if it's like if there was like an anomalous stapler that could staple anything that you put it against. So, and that never needed to be refilled. That would be a perfect explanation for like a anomalous stapler that would be considered safe. Euclids, they're objects that were anomalous, god damn, I can't read when I have things in front of me. So Euclid class SCP objects are anomalies that require more resources to contain completely, or where containment isn't always reliable.
I just remembered one SCP I actually really like.
Nice. But so yeah, the Euclid ones, sometimes they're sapient, sometimes they can move around, sometimes they do things. For the most part, they're relatively safe, but they can be dangerous. And then you have your Keter class, which are difficult to contain and are reliably dangerous. Like one of the biggest and best examples of it is, like, it's in the SCP game, Peanut, the sculpture, that one that just, it's like the weeping angel that just breaks your neck and shits everywhere.
That if you look at it and then look away, it starts to chase after you.
Yeah, and then which that one, it has its own hilarity involved with it, because I mean, it's technically a sentient creature and it has to be observed, and when it's not observed for any period of time, whether it's moving around in its containment or whatnot, it also just unloads, just shits on the floor, just blah. It shoots it out like that fucking hippo video just showed me. It just blasts it on the ground, and that's why the D-class personnel have to go in, because they have to go in and clean that literal shit. That is, and no other SCP kind of has that type of situation going on, where it's like, oh, we have to go in and clean up its literal shit because it just decides to like unload on the ground while people aren't looking.
It just does that because it wants attention.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
It's like the opposite of the shy guy. So yeah, Keter, perfect example. Shy guy, Peanut, the statue or the sculpture. And then there's Thaumiel, which are anomalies that the Foundation specifically uses to contain other SCP class or SCP creatures or objects. So if there was like a box that had interesting properties that could contain things with little chance of escape. That's what they would use for things like potentially the shy guy. But technically the shy guy is uncontainable. You just can't look at him in the face. If you look at him in the face or you see a picture of his face, he breaks out of any restraints and he just literally beelines it to you. From anywhere in the world. The water, air, be damned. You could be in a or like a super sealed room, safe panic room, like just completely surrounded by the best military and guards of the planet, but you just see his little peek of his face, just a little bit of his eyes. You're fucked.
As you're saying that in my head, I just imagine somebody being like, here, look at this picture. And you look at it, right? And so you see his face and you just hear footsteps running incredibly fast behind you. And you know what he is. You know what he's going to do. So you have the wherewithal to quickly turn and just clothesline the ever-living hell out of him. But then you find out that the shy guy was just like, I was just bringing you a cookie.
I want to give you a hug.
I don't know why. That's where my mind went. It's funny because obviously, like, a lot of the SCPs involve some type of horror related element. But a lot of their I guess lore, it always seems like you change one or two things and they're actually not bad.
Like, for the most part.
Like there's like a lot, like even some of the worst ones change a couple things here and there. Oh no, they're actually like that because they're keeping a worse thing away from us, type thing.
There's a fair amount of them that are kind of like that. But yeah, so it's like those four, Safe, Euclid, Keter, and Thaumiel, those are the main classes. There are secondary classes. I'll just give a quick list of them real fast. I'm not going to go into those, but there are like the secondaries like Apollyon, Archon, Ceranos, and Ticonderoga. And you also have like non-standard object classes, which are just kind of effectively like, hey, this might be an object that we need to contain, and this might not be an object. It might be an object that we've already destroyed, or we kind of figured out why it works the way it works. So it's most of those ones, I would say they're far less interesting than just the regular Keter, Euclid, and Safe, because like I think the Safe one. There's literally like I think it's like the tickle bug or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I forgot what it was called. Like it's like a jelly creature that's literally just like meant to bring you joy.
Yeah, meant to bring you joy and happiness, right? Yeah.
And it's like that's the one thing that's gotten on the good side of the hard kill reptile.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the reptile that they have actively living in a vat of acid because that's the only thing that can contain it.
Yeah, because then it adapts slowly over time anyway. So eventually they're gonna have to find another way to contain it that isn't acid. But yeah, that's the only thing that's been able to like make him go
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it's like just he actually had like a good time with that little critter, and I was like, oh, so. He's not entirely
evil
fueled by rage.
Because if I remember correctly, that little goo creature, if you have no joy in you, it will like stay away from you or something like that, right? Like it has to sense something.
Yeah, it has to have something to work with.
Yeah, there has to be something, some form of joy within you to be able to work with to enhance it, make you feel better. So
yeah,
it's like, oh, the undying lizard. Look, he's not that bad. Just don't be alone.
He just hates humans.
Yeah, just hates humans. I mean, who doesn't? Am I right?
Yeah, it's like it kind of comes with the territory of being a human at this point. But yeah, so it's SCP, lots of good stuff. They have some fun, interesting games that have been around for a while. I'm sure everybody's at least seen a little bit of something of them on YouTube at some point.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of content creators that I've seen that have done them. And I'm sorry, that's some of the best content to watch.
Oh, it can be because it's like it is the perfected jump scare game, especially because of Peanut. That motherfucker is just all of a sudden, boom. Oh, he's here again. I can barely hear him. He's somewhere around me. It's turn around, snap, fuck. And then, of course, what was it? I think they keep calling him Radical Larry, but it's I can't keep getting into it. It's too, I gotta refocus and go back to SCP-610, even though I really love Radical Larry too. So I'll have to talk about Radical Larry at a later point because I love him. I love him.
Well,
so
what we should do for like when we do an actual full length episode of the SCP, we should do the whole like the Scarlet King and that whole saga thing.
So before I officially begin, it's like for people who do want SCP content in general, you want to get into the lore, you want to just experience a little bit of it, get a taste, a little dabble here and there. You're on YouTube, at least personally. My two favorite channels that will have all the SCP you can ask for are the Volgun and the Exploring series. The Volgun focuses entirely on SCP. The Exploring series is mostly SCP, has a couple things outside of the SCP realms here and there, but both of them do a great job kind of going through the stories and even kind of adding a little bit of commentary to it here and there. What I'm going to do for this is I'm going to go ahead and just read the entry off the SCP Wiki, which is also a totally valid source because that's, where it all started, really. The SCP Foundation Wiki, so just scp-wiki.wiki.com. That is the primary spot where you'll be able to go through all thousands of their entries.
And they're still like adding more like daily, right?
I don't know if it's daily anymore, but it is still being actively kept up. And things are being added. I think some of it's like the field logs and such, which I won't touch on today because that'll just increase the amount of time. It's like with The Flesh That Hates. It's like I really like it. It's a good story, and it's an interesting creature or object. But the field logs would make for a very long episode. But it's interesting. So maybe at a later time we can go in and do like some selected field logs of things that we enjoy.
In other words, listeners, you will have to wait until October for the spooky season to get that.
Or, we'll kind of do our own little like Christmas in July type situation where instead it's spooky in July.
That could work.
Or maybe even on Valentine's Day we'll record an episode for the true meaning of the season.
SCP!
Hell yes! But yeah, so without further ado, SCP-610 Object Class Keter. The Special Containment Procedures. Due to the vast area of infection SCP-610 covers, containment is impossible. Isolation of the area has proved far more effective, and permission has been granted by the Russian government to establish a perimeter to keep people out of these areas under the guise of military operations. Should any organism displaying traits consistent with SCP-610 be sighted near this perimeter, and then the established protocol requires it to be engaged at range with small arms until immobile, then dispatched using incendiary weapons and munitions from a great a distance as possible. Any living thing coming in physical contact with an organism infected with SCP-610 is considered expendable and is to be immediately terminated and incinerated. Any persons coming within 3 meters of SCP-610 infected life are to immediately withdraw from the area, be isolated from the rest of their team, and subjected to medical examination using only remote techniques to determine if infection has occurred and appropriate steps taken based on that determination. At present, the known infection vectors for SCP-610 spread seem to be focused on physical contact. Drone movements within heavily infected areas have returned air samples containing minute particulate, which when exposed to organic compounds will result in the spread of SCP-610. The results of these particular tests have revealed that most require several days to manifest, if at all. with the exception of direct contact with exposed lung and liver tissue. These particular tests show a rapid rate of growth, which requires incineration of the testing environment no more than 24 hours after initial exposure, when even a 2-hour mishap risking a compromised facility event. Given that this kind of rapid growth only occurs in organic material existing outside the human body, this form of infection is currently considered a minor concern. These peculiarities have given rise to a series of questions regarding the possible origin of the infection in conjunction with the failed, data expunged, containment protocol remains at a scorched earth policy at this time, and no concern for transmission via water or air at infection parameters exists, barring situational changes in the field. So, initially, that's the containment procedure. Burn the fucker. If it's moving, kill it, then burn it.
Why don't you paint a picture of what it actually looks like? Because I'm pretty sure, because that really didn't describe what it looks like. It just says infection.
Yep. So I believe in the description here, it might go into it, but I'll paint a little bit of a picture for SCP-610. So, being dubbed the flesh that hates, what it effectively is it is a kind of a virus in a sense, or more like the devil's bacteria. Because what it does is it gets onto organic material and it will cause fleshy growths, whether it's on nature or people. And if somebody is infected with it, they start to kind of grow out of control in a sense. So they don't necessarily turn into some kind of flesh beast per se, but they start to look sickly. They heat up, like their internal temperature starts to heat up rapidly. So they start having that sickly, like fever pallor. Then their flesh begins to just grow and grow out, away from them, further out. Like their hands will start to elongate. Their heads might start becoming semi-tubular because of just extended growth. And slowly but surely, the flesh will just start to grow over and start not necessarily consume, but it'll start to like go over consume everything. Houses, tables, chairs, whatever food might be there.
So kind of like the Blob.
A little bit. And it starts to join with each other. And it seems like if you go further into the field logs as well, there is like it becomes kind of a hive mind. And you have this underground complex that it slowly starts to like effectively build. And it just starts worming its way into the ground and it gets big. It gets real big. That's why it's kind of like the only thing you can really do is just burn it out, because otherwise it just continues to grow. And that's why they say it's uncontainable technically, because the only option that you do really have is just keep it at bay. You can't stop it. Now for the description on the page. Initial reports of SCP-610 came direct from the Russian government through undisclosable channels. These reports consisted primarily of disappearances of farmers in the region and were not considered until the local police, followed by the regional police, and finally a government dispatch agent, all failed to report in within a 72-hour period. A small military contingent was dispatched to the area and quickly withdrew, at which point the Foundation was contacted to investigate. The area SCP-610 affects is close to Lake Baikal. I'm butchering that because I know it's Russian and I cannot get my head around Russian pronunciations. The area SCP-610 affects is close to Lake Baikal in southern Siberia. And again, I will butcher that, I'm sure of it. Areas of known infection are marked on a map provided to us here. And then you can click the link and you can see a map of like the infected area. Containment parameters are marked in blue surrounding these infection areas, and as of present, no further locations have been identified. Incursions into the perimeter must be reported prior to conducting, confirmed during exploration, and debriefed on immediately following return. SCP-610 appears to be a contagious skin disease at first, with symptoms including rash, itching, and increased skin sensitivity. Within 3 hours, the disease will cause blemishes resembling heavy scar tissue to form in the chest and arm areas, spreading to the legs and back within an additional hour. Consuming the victim completely within 5 hours. Exposure to higher temperatures vastly decreases the time for the contagion to spread, and complete infections have been recorded occurring in as little as 5 minutes. After the completion of the infection occurs, the victim's life functions will cease for approximately 3 minutes, after which time they will restart at 2 to 3 times the activity rate of a normal human. Following this, the scar tissue on the victims will start to move on its own accord and grow at a rapid rate. Normal human features start to disappear at this point under the infection, and the path of mutation appears to be largely random. Subjects observed in this stage of infection have been recorded as growing 3 or more limbs of a type such as arms or legs. The head may become misshapen and elongate or widen out, and parts of the subject may split open from which additional branches of flesh will grow.
The thing?
Oh yeah, big time. The duration of this stage of infection is unknown, and not all subjects appear. Then the duration of the stage of infection is unknown, and not all subjects appear to progress to the later stages. Under unknown conditions, an infected individual will cease moving and place itself in a location it deems suitable where it roots itself. The fleshy growth on the victim will then begin to spread itself across all surrounding objects and then consume them. Such objects do not spread the infection as living creatures do, however, and the effect of prolonged contact with these objects is recorded later in this document. It is assumed that this behavior is to create an area hospitable to continued growth of the other infected. Observation of the life infected by SCP-610 by staff is impossible. Those infected with the disease immediately seek out aid as a natural human impulse, resulting in unintended infections. Those infected past the scar tissue phase actively and aggressively attempt to infect anyone approaching them within an undefined area. It has been established that should an infected be capable of sight and observe an uninfected, it will proceed towards them. If the infected has lost the ability of sight, a range of approximately 30 meters is considered safe. Observation of SCP-610 infected settlements has been established using artificial methods such as remote robots. The data returned from these observations, coupled with the openly aggressive nature of the infected to attempt to spread SCP-610, has resulted in the Keter classification. However, so long as nothing is allowed to enter or leave the infected areas, it is considered a neutralized threat. Of concern are the cavernous areas beneath the infected settlements that were discovered during the exploration, and attempts to get research personnel into these areas are underway. And then, for reference, there are 5 field logs. There is a small remote-controlled rover that was sent to Site A to locate missing personnel. That's field log 1. The second one is an infected D-class personnel is sent to Site C with video equipment. And then number 3 is initial discovery of the tunnel entrances at Site A. Then there's an unmanned exploration of the Site A tunnels, and then a manned exploration of the Site A tunnels. And then there is the following, on the last thing of the page, it's like the following field report is for Class A or higher personnel only. Unauthorized viewing of this file is strictly prohibited and will be considered a violation of Foundation contracts and breach of international law. And then that is number 6, which, as you can see, you cannot click, and is exploration records of Operation Source Point, which I believe that there is a story that they have listed elsewhere for that, but you just cannot access it via the field log.
Why do I imagine, when they're going around searching the area, right? And then just that one guy that's like, hey guys, did nobody see this giant cave entrance right here when we got here?
That's like, no, it doesn't matter. No.
Are you sure? Because pretty sure it's right under where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? It's all good. It's fine. The cave's fine. It's the weird heat source coming from in there. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's like I really enjoy SCP-610. It is an interesting concept, and it brings to mind things like The Thing, like zombies and all kinds of different weird little horror movie things. So it was like, it's right up my alley.
That one actually more so, especially nowadays, kind of gives off more of a The Last of Us vibe, where it's like a fungus that, contaminates you and mutates you and becomes a hive mind and so forth.
But yeah, it's good shit. It's really good shit.
No,
and,
that
I
one,
highly recommend like doing some sort of a deep dive on it at some point for just listeners in general, because it is an interesting one. And then even if they have the opportunity, I'd highly recommend Site 13 as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Like I said, the one that I remembered, I actually had to look it up just to make sure it was correct. It is I don't even know if you know about this one. SCP 1733.
Off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about it. No.
So basically, it is a recording on a Motorola DVR of the 2010 to 2011 NBA season opening game at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, between Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. And basically, what it is within this recording. So apparently the way that it came up was, I guess this person online posts something on Facebook talking about this technical foul that happens, but then everybody starts commenting, oh, it happened in the third quarter. And then a lot of people are commenting like, what are you talking about? There was no technical foul, this and the other. So obviously, SCP's Facebook division, because I guess they have a Facebook division, takes notice of this. So they do their part. They go out there, they get a hold of the DVR, they make sure that the original poster suddenly developed amnesia. And as they watch the tape, in the beginning, it's little subtle things like that technical foul, or like the number of fouls wasn't the same. Like if you watched it and I watched it, we would say, oh yeah, in the first quarter there were 3 fouls, and I was like, no, there wasn't, and it would keep going. But then they realized the longer they watch it, literally the worse it becomes, to the point where outside of technical issues, the people in the recording seemingly gain sentience and realize something's wrong, they're not supposed to be here. And then they proceed to try to start getting out of the building. They can't. The basketball players don't play the game. They try to help. It gets to the point that every time that, like, if they'll try to open doors won't open. But at a certain point in time, so like let's say 30 minutes into the game, somebody came in. That person will come in, and if somebody manages to get out, they're stuck in the corridor. They can't get out. So they're trapped in an even smaller area. But then it gets to the worst of it is when essentially riots begin to happen. The people inside, instead of working together, they form 3 factions and proceed to sacrifice the players thinking it'll appease whatever thing is keeping them there. And then because of this, the Foundation said, okay, nobody can watch this anymore. We do not, because
each time it happens, it's getting worse and worse.
And even if it's just a recording, these people are obviously feeling it. So they said no more watching it. You have to get it. Oh, by the way, it's as I say all this, its classification is safe.
Well, because it's safe to everybody outside so far.
And then that's one of the other reasons why they also stopped, because they're like, we don't know what can happen over long exposure, because they took the man's DVR. Anything else they record, nothing. That specific recording. So they believe it's the recording itself. It's not the machine.
That is a good one. I like that. It's like, and this also speaks to the fact that it's like, I love SCP stuff, and I'm sure Josie's going to be incredibly upset because I know he loves SCP stuff, and literally the decision to do this was a last minute, like 11th hour, like executive decision. But I'll allow him once he becomes unplagued, as long as he is not infected with 610.
He gets 5 minutes.
Yeah, he'll get 5 minutes. 5 minutes of his favorite. But yeah, we'll do like a full, like, real SCP episode in the nearish future, just because, like, there is so much, and it speaks to it. It's like, again, I've been deep into, like, SCP stuff for a long time, and it's like I'm not entirely familiar with this one at all.
Oh yeah, no,
there's so many.
Yeah, there's so many.
But yeah, that's kind of one of the beautiful parts about it. And there's a little something for everybody in there. It does kind of always take that sci-fi horror-esque bent to it. But
and then I do know too that there are some, for all the horror-driven ones, there are others where they're like the little jelly thing. There are others where they're good entities. They're good things. They try to help people, or they try to protect people from. There's like,
I love the reluctant dimension hopper.
Oh yeah, him.
He's like, he doesn't want to dimension hop, but because he does, he's just kind of like, fuck. Okay, they're gonna contain me one way or the other. I might as well make good on this in some capacity.
Yeah, and then, like, I know there's one SCP, I cannot remember the number. I just remember watching in the video where I guess there's two SCPs that correlate to each other. They're like warriors, and they're supposed to constantly fight.
Oh, that's Cain and Abel.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that one.
The biblical Cain and Abel.
Yeah, that they're meant to fight, and then if the battle ever actually finishes, then apparently that's when the Scarlet King gets involved. And again, it's funny enough, because as you hear yourself say this, kind of sounds like you're talking about like a comic book or an anime or something.
I know sometimes you start getting into like these larger storylines and plots within the SCP Foundation, and it's like, is this written by like George Lucas or like what is it, like comic book writer Mark Waid? But yeah, it gets really wild really quick. I think I don't know which one Josie is going to pick once he gets back into being fully human again.
He is going to, unless he actually does research on it, he is going to be telling us about one, but then the facts that he gives us are from like 3 different ones.
He'll go Shy Guy, but then give us a Plague Doctor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or the reluctant Dimension Hopper, or yes. or he'll try to go full edgelord and just go straight into the Scarlet King.
Maybe. He could do Scarlet King, or just something to do with the Sarkic cults or even the machine cults. Because
possible.
So it's the broken machine god.
Again, I just love the fact that somebody that's listening to this is like, what the hell are they talking about?
Well, yeah, it's like we gotta just kind of go off the deep end sometimes, and it's like I am also well aware that I also have to keep my verbal content to a reasonable area, and I can't say certain things because it's a public recording. Darn. It's like I have to grow as a person, Jose. Why do I have to grow as a person?
Because that's the problem. Oh, and I brought it back.
Bastard. But yeah. So with kind of that little SCP taster, I would say.
That was like a little tease, like a little demo.
A little nipple flick of SCP, so that when we all get together, we'll have a full episode of that again, and maybe we can go a little bit deeper, do some of the field logs. We'll try to like select specific ones or something like that to be like, okay, this field log is the most interesting of them all, so we'll kind of go a little bit deeper into that.
That is going to be so difficult to choose from because there are so many that are just amazing, like the diner. The vanishing diner on the highway.
Yes.
Like that one I went through a rabbit hole.
Oh no, yeah, it's like you could easily spend a night fully just going through the SCP wiki, going on like a single rabbit hole.
The fact that nobody in Hollywood has decided to say, "Hey, this is a series. This is a franchise or something." That honestly baffles me because like think about how many movies and shows and things that came off of YouTube in recent years.
I think the biggest reason why is because of how the SCP Foundation itself is set up. It's because it's a Creative Commons license, so it's like it technically can't be done in certain ways, and it is it's all technically once it's out there, it's in public domain. So I think it's not technically Creative Commons. I think it's just public domain in a sense. Like I'll have to look up the nuances of how they have it set up particularly. So it's like they can't technically do an SCP thing. And like the closest thing that we've really gotten were some like YouTube videos that were made by, I think the YouTube name is like Evan Royalty. Because he has a couple like SCP videos that are like stellar. And then like video games like Control from Remedy, which they have like their own variant of the SCP Foundation in there. So it's like it's out there, but it's not like really SCP, not fully. But
instead of peanut, it's cashew.
Yeah, well, it's like they had to eventually change the art for Peanut because the sculpture that he initially that they had used, the artist finally just got fed up with it and was like, no, I don't want my piece to be used for this. And so he filed legal work to get it taken down, and so they changed it to a different creature or a different creature sculpture thing that kind of similar-ish look, but just like a little bit more it's hard to say because he has like a lot of the similar colors, which I think they did because like, hey, it's like everybody identifies these particular characteristics, but it has like more arms. It's a little bit more of a flat form, and it doesn't necessarily have the big peanut head anymore. So yeah, even though it's like classically called Peanut, now it's more or less just the sculpture. And that was kind of a sad thing because it was part of internet history. Kind of like old Perry Bible Fellowship comics. Those are phenomenal old comics, and that's where we got the term weeaboo. Not even lying. It's like if you look up like Perry Bible Fellowship comic weeaboo, look that shit up and enjoy. Yeah, it's like as you might be able to hear, Jose is actively looking it up. Oh, yep, very first one right there. Yep. If we waste any more time on weeaboo, we'll be bankrupt by the end of the month. Did someone just say weeaboo? Because I think I just heard someone say weeaboo, weeaboo, and then they're all just lining up to like spank the guy.
Even though
I love it.
Even though technically shouldn't the one that brought that up also be getting spanked?
Oh, technically.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely. But we don't work on technicalities in the Perry Bible Fellowship.
Oh.
But yeah, Perry Bible Fellowship was like, it has a lot of like really old kind of like meme-y things in there, and it's funny as shit. Although I don't think it's been updated in almost a decade at this point, but it's good old internet. I should say it that way. It's good old internet. It just ain't the same as it used to be, Jose.
Back in my day,
you had to join Hentai to see anime titties. Not just look at Instagram for 5 minutes. Yep. But I think one of the things that you brought up right before we started the podcast is something that's like, I know we haven't really touched on the podcast yet, and I'm going to bring it up gleefully. Kathleen Kennedy officially finally stepping aside from Star Wars. Yay.
I just love the complete tonal shift. Ooh, spooky out there, SCP, and
Kathleen Kennedy spooky as fuck. It's depending on what circles you talk about, she might be the Wicked Witch of Star Wars and the reason for its downfall. Other circles, it's like she just made a couple of bad decisions that really hurt the branding, mostly from a standpoint of oversaturation. That's the camp I land in. It's like, you've oversaturated shit and not all of it's up to like good quality. You need to not be in a leadership position if you're just saying yes to every project. But yeah, having her step aside, yeah, that is an interesting thing. I was actually kind of surprised that legitimately happened. Do we know when she's officially stepping down?
Quick stall.
Okay, so to stall from this, I'm going to go over Jose's favorite slurs. In order. Number 10. Nah, I'm not going to do that to you. I won't out you like that. But yeah, so she's had a 13-year tenure there. One of the primary things that I think she does get a lot more hate for. Oh, let's see. Officially ended in January of 2026. So at some point this month, I guess, is when she's officially leaving.
More than likely. So if anything, probably the 1st of February.
Yeah, that'll probably make the most sense. But one of the things that I think that she gets too much shit for is the more recent trilogy. I think the lackluster nature of the more recent trilogy and kind of the what was it? Somehow Palpatine returned situation. I think a lot of that comes down primarily to J.J. Abrams, not necessarily her. I think that she was right to start a new Star Wars trilogy and then to try to expand the world a little bit. But I'm not 100% sure that all of the decisions that she made were the best for the brand. Because again, it's like with her at the helm, we got a lot of middling Star Wars stuff. But we got some very interesting Star Wars stuff out of it too. So it's going to be I want to call it like a mixed bag when it comes to the legacy that she's going to have left on Star Wars.
And people like often forget too, like how you said she was there for 13 years. So people forget that, like, hey, franchises that you love, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, when the good ones were there, she was there too.
Yep. It's like she was just in a leadership position for those 13, 14 years.
Yeah, it was just the fact that, like, that's why whenever I see people talk about her and this and the other, and you can quickly tell, like, oh, you guys don't know, she's been here for years, man. Feel how you want to feel about her and Star Wars and what she did or didn't do to it. That's fine. You have every right to feel the way you want to feel. But it's still the fact that, like, hey,
she was still there at the good times.
She was there 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3. Even though now people appreciate 1, 2, and 3 more than they did when they came out.
They are still... but you know what? I think that looking back now, because there was a moment where, like, when they first came out, that I loved them because I was a kid. We were both kids when they first came out. Or let's say like early to mid-teens.
I was living in New York State at the time, and my mom and I she picked me up from school, and we went and waited in line to buy the tickets.
That's like me and one of my friends, we skipped school to go to opening day. And then we saw our chemistry teacher there that day too.
Oh, damn.
And it was kind of funny because we were there and I saw him walking in. And it's middle of school day, so I got a little ballsy. He was like, "Hey, Mr. Fisher!" And I just kind of waved to him, and he's like, "Aren't you supposed to be in school?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Enjoy."
It's like, no, that would have been really funny. He's like, "Aren't you two supposed to be in school? Aren't you supposed to be in school?"
Yeah, it's like, well, he was also the teacher that we would sit down like in lunch periods when we weren't allowed to go play in the career center.
Oh, he was like the actual cool teacher.
Yeah, he was like cool.
The laid back guy, the one that's like,
oh yeah, it's like we'd go and play Magic in his classroom. We'd just like bring our little standard decks and just play in there against each other. It's like we'd be in his classroom doing that, or we'd be in the career center playing Neo Geo ROMs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because it's like I would always have a bumper crop of them and bring them in, and that's a whole saga of finding ways to play Neo Geo games on the computers at school.
It's so sad to think that there's a potential listener that's like, "What's Neo Geo?"
I know, right?
That'll be a discussion topic for another time.
Yeah, it's like what brands have fallen off that we
no,
grew up with.
That's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hurt tremendously. It's like, oh, my childhood, my poor bleeding childhood.
I don't know, man. Our childhood this year though is kind of being like, hey, I'm not dead yet.
Well, our childhood this year is kind of like, I'm not dead yet, but then again, so are all the world conflicts.
I know, right?
It's like, oh, you thought this was done when you were still a teenager. Welcome back.
But going back to the whole Kathleen Kennedy thing, so Disney, Lucasfilm are adapting kind of like what DC did, where instead of one person in charge, it's two. So replacing her is Dave Filoni, which a lot of people have been wanting him to step up for quite a while because of his work with The Mandalorian. I know people feel certain ways about that, but overall, this show is it's
fine.
It's fine. And then the stuff that he's done with the animation, which I think that right there really showcased.
That's the primary reason why I think he kind of does need to be in a higher position, as he has done a lot of really interesting stuff with the animation division.
So he is as what I'm reading right here, he is officially now the president and chief creative officer. And then a woman by the name of Lin-Wen Brennan serves as the co-president, guiding the Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises forward under Disney.
Now, I'm kind of happy that they are splitting those things up a little bit, but at the same time, I think what they have to do is they just have to let the Indiana Jones franchise die, because Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. The only way that they can kind of work with that franchise anymore is they have to do it in like an animated aspect. They really have to. Video games are animated. That's it.
They're talking prequels.
I don't doubt it.
Indiana Jones.
I don't doubt that in the slightest.
Apparently they want to kind of touch back on, for those people that probably don't know, for a short period of time, there was a young Indiana Jones series.
Yeah.
And apparently that's kind of what they want to go back to. They kind of want to go back to that. I don't know if it's like a series, like a show, or a new franchise of movies with him, you know, aging up as the movies progress.
Honestly, with Disney, you really just don't know, because the obvious choice would be or the cost-effective choice would be do the series.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The smart choice to build the full franchise out using a young Indiana Jones is to do the movie. I'm not sure if I entirely trust them to do either, because it's like we already did have the young Indiana Jones show,
which wasn't bad.
Yeah, it really was campy as shit, but it wasn't bad. But then again, that also kind of went with the time period. It was also like just camp was standard, especially with like, I don't even know if I'd call it like a premium show or anything. It was more like a daytime, not even cable.
No, it was on
like UPN or something like that.
Yeah, I think at the time it was UPN. But remember, UPN at that point in time, they were trying to do these younger.
Well, no,
IP.
actually, no. It was still when it was the WB network. No, it wouldn't have been WB.
No,
network.
it wouldn't have been. No, because the WB. No. Okay, I'm getting confused.
Yeah, there were so many weird little channel.
Because it was
changes.
WB, then UPN, then CW.
Yes,
which is what it is right now.
Yeah. There was also like there was a time when they just took UPN off of our airways and with WGN in Chicago.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what happened. I was thinking about that because I'd always see it on WGN.
Yeah. So,
which is really funny that it's like Chicago-based network that is like, oh, here, Fresno, take our Chicago network. It's like, the fuck?
Okay, see, now we definitely need to do a episode where we talk about things that have come and gone. Because just talking about that right now, I started remembering so many different shows.
Marsupilami?
Yeah. Oh, God. Bunkers?
Yeah.
I mean, that's Disney, but still.
But yeah, there's all kinds of just weird little things that have gone by the wayside from when we were young. And when it comes to Disney, it is, I'm very much hoping that with Indiana Jones that they just kind of, whatever method they choose for it, that they choose something where you can still have like high adventure. Because like that was when I think it was at its best, when it was very like adventurous. And now with the fact that they might be considering doing a new show or a movie, they are also going to have to compete with the new Tomb Raider. That said, I think that Indiana Jones, just on merit and money alone, is going to have the better chance of success and being a better movie.
Well, both of them.
I really hope Tomb Raider does well, but I think Indiana Jones, even though there's no word on whatever the next one's going to be, I think it's going to be far more successsul. Well, and it'll probably be better.
Well, both of them are going to have to deal with another adventure franchise.
What's that?
Well, we talked a couple episodes back. They confirmed another The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, yeah. Which is funny because we are getting another Mummy right now.
The horror one?
Yeah.
The A24 one? Or is it Blumhouse?
I don't remember if it's A24 or Blumhouse, but yeah.
We definitely need to see that one, though.
It looks
pretty good.
It looks actually kind of interesting.
But the reason why I say they're going to have to deal with that, which we all know they really won't, because they're not all coming out at the same time. But so apparently this fourth Mummy movie is taking place after the events of the second movie. So the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, the third one, that's now its own story.
Okay.
So because of the fact that Rachel Weisz is coming back.
Okay, I like that.
So basically it's going to be episode 1, 2, and 4 are a trilogy of movies, and then the third movie is like its own, I guess you could say, like, what if. story.
Okay, yeah, the Mummy What If universe. It's getting the Marvel treatment.
I know,
It's
right?
got the Marvel treatment.
But yeah, no, but I mean, I'm happy about that. I'm happy that he's getting to come back, and even if this is the last one, the fact that he's getting that they're all getting to come back and do just one more.
Yeah, it's like that makes me super happy. It's like on top of that, it's like I'm just loving Brendan Fraser's kind of career resurgence. It makes me very happy.
We still need to watch that.
Rental Family.
Yeah, the Rental Family one.
Yeah,
just hit
it's
us
still
in
in the
heart.
back of my head because it's like I missed it in theaters, but it's like fuck, I still need
It's
to watch it.
coming to digital.
Yeah, I don't know
soon.
where is it supposed to be streaming? Quick, look it up. Computer man, mush.
Oh, quite a few places.
Okay, let's see. Looks like we can do Amazon Prime, YouTube, Apple. But at the same time, right now, it looks like it's only for purchase or probably rent at this moment. And if we're doing the rental, rental family, yay! It'll probably be about $5-6 for the rent. But yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on it, and maybe just I'll bite the bullet and buy it for us so we can watch it or rent it or something or like that. And we
Yeah,
can
because
just
I also know
make a night of that.
Predator Badlands is, I think, next month.
Oh, nice.
I could be wrong. I think it is next month. And then, Tron Ares is...
It's
is
waiting for me.
I was going to suggest that we watch
Jared
that today,
fucking Leto.
but we need Josie here.
Yeah, it's
And
like
then-
we do need Josie, and then
We would need to get Isaiah's bitch ass back here, so
Yeah.
that way... See, I told you. Told you, we're bringing it back.
yeah, it's like it's like you're not here to like say anything about it.
But no, have him come back, because apparently he's got a really, like... He's got words, so I want to hear his words on that one.
Yeah, it's we'll have a word off. But yeah, it's I have some hope for the future of Lucasfilm in general, and I'm hoping that what they decide to do, or basically what Filoni decides to do, is to kind of pull back a little bit in all the right ways, so that each thing that comes out for Star Wars gets the adequate time that it needs to be the best it can be. I know we already have that one thing coming out because you just pulled it up on the screen for us.
I pulled it up for a reason.
You bastard. But yeah, Ryan Gosling in Star Wars Starfighter. And I have hope because I do like him. I like him as an actor. A lot of charisma. And when it comes to serious roles, he can do a damn good job. So I'm hoping that this is something that's going to really work to his strengths.
I mean, his greatest role of all was the avoiding eating the cereal. R.I.P. to the guy that created that. And then, Ryan, like the guy that he is, actually made a video where he finally eats a spoon of cereal. I was like, damn, dude, that's deep. But no, the reason why I brought this up is, so I had read something a few weeks ago where they confirmed, even though this is Starfighter, so you're thinking, oh, no Jedi or Sith. No, there is guaranteed a lightsaber battle, some type of lightsaber fight in the movie.
Oh, that depresses me.
And their reasoning, because it's Star Wars and that's what is expected of Star Wars. And I'm like, no, you can walk away from them.
Yeah, it's like, well, here's the big thing. If you do not market Jedi and Sith, you're not going to have that like want of it to be in your movie. So if they did Star Wars Starfighter and it was primarily a space-based movie with it would basically be Top Gun but in fucking space. You're not getting a lot of ground combat in Top Gun. I would expect as much in Star Wars Starfighter. It's like Star Wars is primarily been shoehorned to be about Jedi and Sith consistently. It doesn't need to be. And a lot of the franchise, like the extended universe around the franchise that doesn't focus on the Jedi-Sith conflict, and focuses a little bit more on smaller individual conflicts and battlegrounds throughout, tend to be the best ones by a long shot. I mean, for crying out loud, outside of the fact that I can't believe I'm bringing this up as a good example of it, but fucking Mandalorian, like the Mandalorian Grogu only really has very remedial force powers, and they only really gave Grogu remedial force powers because, it's baby Yoda. Yoda had force powers. But for the most part, it's a space western.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
It is an absolute western in space, and the force has very little to deal with what's going on. In a lot of respects, Grogu's force power use has been for comedic effect.
Yeah, majority of the time.
So it's kind of like, you do not need the Force or Force users to be a part of Star Wars for it to be successful. So having like an executive say it's like, we have a lightsaber battle or Jedi battle or something like that in there because it's expected. It's like, no, it's fucking not. We expect a good movie. That's what we want here.
When I read that, my first thought was, halfway through the movie, we're going to find out Ryan Gosling's character is a Jedi.
Yeah, it's like, wait, what's his character name going to be? Okay, we'll give him this character name. Then 3/4 of the way through it, he'll discover, I had amnesia. I'm actually Kyle Katarn. and then my entire childhood will officially be dead.
Oh, then we will have to see that then.
Yeah.
But I will say this: if it's a situation where we get the whole space battle or whatever, and it's one of those things, because I have a feeling this is going to be something where he's going to lead a group of people, kind of like the rebels in a sense. There's going to be a fight, and there's going to be a force user within the group, and hopefully the lightsaber battle is just like, this is just happening during the bigger fight.
I sincerely hope so.
If it's something like that, then it's like, okay, I get it. Because at that point, fine, yes, the possibility of both sides having force-sensitive people, these past few Star Wars movies have made it very apparent. There's more force-sensitive people in the universe than we know of. Some can only sense things, some can do, force choke, lightning, you name it.
Well, it's like, and on top of that, it's like, it's like, I get it in a conflict sense, but they do just over stuff like the Sith with people, where it's like, we have all of these force users and people that are force sensitive, and even just like full Sith, or like basically Sith Knights. And it's kind of like, then there's always like the one Jedi or two Jedi. It's kind of like, you can't always have the exact same fucking odds. That becomes tired. All it does is make all these additional powers that the Sith have seem middling by comparison, because they're like these terribly restrained guys who only really do force push or pull, could just like tank lightning and shit. It's like, your lightning, tickles.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like every time you see that, where it's like, we have that's
choke.
That's why I've always loved the cinematic for, I believe, of Knights of the Old Republic 2, where you see the temple on Coruscant, big ship crashes into it, all these Sith come out, all these Jedi, and it's like, okay, thank you. That's probably the best example of a force battle that's ever been created.
Oh yeah,
because it really is. And then there's also the one cinematic where the soldier, actually he's getting force lightning, but he powers through it and just lights a grenade right in front of the Sith user, and he gets knocked back. I forgot the Sith's name. And so like I love the fact that those games showed, hey, Jedi and Sith aren't the end all be all in this universe.
Oh, absolutely. And that is something that I think that the film executives need to get through their heads, is they do need to focus a lot more on the more I don't even want to say the human stories, but the stories of people that aren't explicitly Jedi or Sith, and that have nothing to do with the Jedi and Sith. Like,
I just want a good smuggler story.
Yeah, it's like Solo was okay, but that was more
close.
like
it was close.
It was more kind of a comedic action adventure.
Yeah.
But it's like I do want something that's a little like the darker, seedier side of the Star Wars universe, where you're actually having to deal with smuggling, drug trade. It's like not everything Star Wars needs to be for all audiences.
Well, apparently years ago, there was something, I think it was, the running title for it was like Star Wars Underground. And it was supposed to involve bounty hunters, smuggling, the Hutts, the crime syndicates, and you were supposed to follow characters in that world of Star Wars. But then I guess as time went on, that's essentially what the Boba Fett series became.
Yep.
And it was like, cool, we're going to get to see that. And Boba Fett came out, and it's like, okay, I get it. It's like,
it was okay.
It was like, okay, I get why he as benevolent as he is, because he does make some valid points where he's like, look, I could rule these people through fear, but they won't respect me. They won't trust me. They won't work with me. But if I rule them properly, they're going to have my back. I'm going to have theirs. We're going to be fine. And in a lot of movies, there are movies that take that trope and run with that, where it's like, oh, this gangster, yeah, he's a gangster, but he takes care of his town. He takes care of his people, and they got his back because of it. And it was just, unfortunately, I'm going to go ahead and say this, they Disneyfied it.
Oh yeah, no, they absolutely
that was
do.
the problem. Like, you know, if they had just kept it.
God damn the frozen cock and balls.
It came back. It always comes back. But yeah, no, like, so like if they had just kind of kept it more of a little bit of a darker, I'm not saying it has to go full dark.
Yeah, it doesn't have to go full on like hard R.
Yeah.
It's like just like show the fact that it's like, okay. Perfect example is Jabba's palace in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
It was dirty. It was seedy. It was obviously like a den of like villainy. There's going to be more of that in the universe. It's like, don't hesitate to show those things.
It was like Andor, like that to me.
Yeah.
That if they had given Boba Fett
the Andor treatment,
Andor theme and treatment, I guarantee you people would have loved that show way more.
Oh no,
because the one thing that we've always wanted to see, because I love when people are like, oh yeah, Boba Fett's such a badass, and then they go back and they watch the original movies and you're like,
he's kind of a bitch.
Yeah. and then you find out like, oh no, the reason why people love him so much, go read the books, go read the comics.
Yep.
And that's where his badass status came from. It's like, yes, that's cool, but the movies portray him in such a horrible light. The original movies do.
Yeah, they really, really do.
You know, like, oh yeah, he shoots at Chewbacca in the hallway in Cloud City. Big whoop.
It's like, oh no, he shot at him, didn't hit him.
Exactly. You know, so
and then he gets knocked into the Sarlacc pit.
I know, right? And then I love the fact that, like, you know, people. One complaint I always saw in like videos or whatever was that like we just want to see him as the badass that we've read about. You know, like the episode of Mandalorian when he gets his armor back and he just mollywops I said the word mollywop the hell out of those stormtroopers helping Mando. It's like, there, give us that. That's what we've been wanting to see.
Oh yeah, it is something that's kind of like, again, I think kind of the best way to kind of close out today really is Disney. What they really need to do, especially with their properties and now the changing of the guard, they need to take a good look at it and realize what types of priorities they need to invest in to prolong the franchise that people would love, that a lot of people have grown up on. And I do personally think that they need to step back from, at least in Star Wars case, they need to step back from the Jedi stories and focus more. They should really honestly just turn it into a space western. I think that would be the best course of action. And then besides that, when it comes to things like Indiana Jones, is if they're going to do prequels to his adventures, or even just kind of like relaunch the series for a modern day, they need to focus first and foremost on the adventure and wonder of it more than anything else, because the action was always secondary.
Yeah.
The Indiana Jones stuff, it was very much that sense of adventure.
It was always the fact of like, wait a minute, this college teacher knows how to do all of this? Like,
yeah, it's handles a bullwhip like a champ and a revolver like a marksman.
Yeah, exactly. And, no matter how many times he gets punched in the face, he can still get up and keep fighting and...
Doesn't really flinch when a guy gets chopped up by a propeller.
Exactly.
I was like, what type of shit is this guy seeing?
I know, but, because here, look at it this way. Like, since you brought up Indiana Jones and kind of go off on this one. So he's dealt with cults. He's literally dealt with God, both with the chalice and the Ark of the Covenant.
Yep.
He's dealt with Nazis is always like the main one, but he's dealt with time travel, that last one, and then he's dealt with aliens.
Yep.
What else is left? Like if they're gonna do a prequel series, you've already touched on all the big, things. Like, what else is left?
Now he gets to deal with himself.
He's in counseling.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Doc, I'm here for my session this week.
Well, funny enough, the way that the events of the last movie, his son Mud, he went off to war and he dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Sorry, I don't care. It's been out
years.
For a while. And that took a strain on him, which then caused the marriage to Miriam to fall apart.
Yeah.
So, like, the little counseling joke we just made.
Yep.
It would fit.
Yeah, it'd fit, but
like 100%. But this is
for
a
a modern, or a current day Indiana Jones, not a prequel Indiana Jones, unless they decide to take a lot of those plot points and work them into like a backstory for like his early 20s when he comes out in his 30s for the movies or something like that.
And then there was also the fact that like it really was them trying to kind of pass the hat off, like the...
Oh, no, they were so trying to get Shia LaBeouf to be like the next Indy.
And then after that, in the last movie, I think her name's Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah.
It was clear that they were trying... So they could try something with her.
I don't think they would, because there was a lot of pushback on that.
Yeah.
And not all of it warranted. Like, did I personally enjoy her character? Not really. But I could see her leading it, or at least kind of doing her own thing. But I don't think that they should be technically handing off the mantle of Indiana Jones to anybody else than Indiana Jones. So it's like, if they're going to continue the franchise, they really need to either reboot the character or go the prequel route. And in some respects, I almost think reboot the character and just start him early in his life.
That is probably what they're gonna do.
Yeah, but we'll see. There's gonna be plenty of time before then. I'd imagine that we would have at least 5 years before we see another Indiana Jones movie.
Oh yeah, no, they need time to. Well, I mean,
all kinds of things.
Kathleen stepping down. I'm pretty sure if anybody has any semblance of a good idea, somebody hopefully would have said, "Okay, wait. We're already working on the Starfighter. We'll keep doing that. Everything else,
put it on hold."
Dave, you look at it and you pick and choose. I mean, there's even that rumor that they're considering doing a horror movie for Star Wars. inspired by that game where you're killing zombie stormtroopers.
Oh, was it Republic Commando?
No. There was a indie game that was made, I think, like a year or so ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. I totally forgot that game even came out.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But that would be kind of interesting to see them kind of go with. It's like, say, you got a good idea. Let's roll with it. Let's develop this.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, there's enough in Star Wars. Like even just in the movies, there are some pretty like horrific things that they do show. So.
And if they hadn't nixed the whole extended universe, like there was so much, but
Yeah, so much
it's like that would be a whole series of episodes to itself. It's good. I like the extended universe, but whatever. But yeah, so I guess this episode has primarily just been SCP and then some incidentally Disney news.
And that you brought up.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yep, I brought it up this time, but don't expect it to happen again.
Oh, by the way,
unless somehow that goddamn haunted cock and balls just rears its ugly head.
and I'm still waiting for the Masters of the Universe trailer.
Oh no! Like I said, it's going to be a full-length movie. That's not going to be a trailer. Technically, it's going to be every possible language all at once, just like the teaser. Now you're actually kind of like, oh, you know what? I'm going to see, is this movie ever coming out? Oh, it's supposed to be June of this year?
No, because I was going to say, well, maybe Comic-Con, but no, this is right before Comic-Con.
June of this year. That is surprising. Especially it's surprising that we don't have a full trailer yet.
No, whoa, wait a minute. You're right.
That's very weird.
That's kind of not good.
Yeah, that's concerning. That is very concerning.
Ouch.
Oh, well.
Come on.
Let us have one thing, please.
Just let us have one thing.
But yeah, it's like Jared Leto, I will and my way out of this podcast today. And this has been the Shenanigoons podcast with your host, John, and
Jose.
With music brought to you by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. Go ahead, like, subscribe, leave some comments, leave some stars. Link us to your favorite
SCPs.
Yes. I was going to say, I was trying to think of something terrible to say, but SCPs is a good thing. That's good.
I mean, some of them are terrible, so. Yeah.
True. But far better. I like that. So in the meantime, though, enjoy your week. We will enjoy ours and get fucked.
Bye-bye.